Hello guys, welcome back to our anime moment. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Renegade Immortal episode number 398 based on novel. So let's start. The Celestial Devour spell relied on destroying everything and absorbing it all. The old man's body suddenly collapsed. Strangely, his flesh and blood didn't scatter, but quickly burnt into ashes. Fog came out of the old man's collapsed body, revealing Wang Lin's figure. His face was rosy, but there was a vague, black line between his eyebrows. After he appeared, he didn't stop, he charged into the cultivation planet. Wherever he passed, black fog rushed into every cultivator he passed. They all let out miserable cries and their bodies withered. Their flesh and blood were absorbed by Wang Lin. A moment later, all the cultivators on the cultivation planet were extinct. Wang Lin's body was surrounded by a cloud of monstrous black fog that was almost like demonic flame. As he floated in the air, he mercilessly reached down at the ground. Planet Soul Extraction. The entire cultivation planet began to tremble and an ancient aura leaked out. It was as if it was forced to awaken from its slumber. Strands of white gas came out of the cultivation planet and gathered in Wang Lin's left hand. They formed a ball of gas in his hand. The ball seemed to contain its own world. Holding the planet Soul, the monstrous black fog around Wang Lin wrapped around him and he disappeared from this cultivation planet. Among the stars, Wang Lin merged with the world and charged forward. Every time he passed a planet, he would rush in and devour all the cultivators. Then he would extract the planet Soul and leave. There were now 7 planet souls around Wang Lin. Thunderous rumbles echoed as he rushed forward, and an ancient aura filled the stars. As time gradually passed, his origin soul healed. Aside from the wound on the chest made by the heaven-splitting axe, which was still bleeding, there were no major problems. Even the wound showed signs of recovered after he had devoured so much. However, the aura of the heaven-splitting axe caused the recovery to be slow. If I don't force this aura out, it will take too long for this wound to recover. Wang Lin's eyes turned cold as he looked at the bright star system before him. Absorbing the flesh and blood of these ordinary cultivators isn't enough to force this out. I have to absorb ancient god power. In this ancient star system, I only know one place where I can find ancient god power. That is the Slave Moon clan. Wang Lin's eyes shined and he let out a cold snort. He took a step, merged with the world, and quickly rushed to the location of the Moon clan in his memory. The Moon clan had many powerful cultivators, including a large amount of old monsters that had been alive for countless years. It would be like a den of dragons and tigers, danger at every turn. However, Wang Lin had other plans. He knew that during these years, the Moon clan wasn't destroyed by Tuo Sen. Since Tuo Sen won't stop chasing me, I'll simply lure him to the Moon clan. I want to see how they will resist. Wang Lin's gaze became very cold as he merged with the world and disappeared. The Moon clan was very far from where Wang Lin was. He had never been there before, and he only knew the direction from the Moon clan member he soul-searched in the 7-colored realm. He knew one spatial bending wasn't enough, so he had to do it several times. As he rushed, he had no time to look at the ancient star system. The outer realm was different from the inner realm. No matter how bright the inner realm was, it always felt as if there was a sense of haziness, like something was there. It was as if they were in a cage. If one hadn't come to the outer realm, one would never notice this. One would just think that the world was always like this. For the outer realm cultivators, the inner realm was a cage that contained the thing they were greedy for. It was because of the sealed realm formation that the outer realm cultivators could launch plan after plan against the inner realm. Whether it was the 7-colored Tao fruit or the collapse of the celestial realms or planting traitors, all of this greatly weakened the inner realm. It was extremely difficult to exit the inner realm, but it was not difficult for people of the outer realm to enter. Whether it was the sovereign or the ancient demon and devil that attacked Qing Lin, they were able to enter the sealed realm formation without any problem, and this was given to them by the outer realm's ancient celestial realm. Wang Lin heard all of this from the Lord of the Sealed Realm. He also found out that aside from absorbing the Tao intent of the lives inside the inner realm, the sealed realm formation also absorbed origin energy. The origin energy in the inner realm felt boundless, but it was, in fact, weakened throughout the ages. However, it was boundless in the outer realm. What shocked Wang Lin the most was that not only did the formation absorb origin energy, it was also the reason there were so few third-step cultivators in the inner realm. Over the countless years, there were geniuses that had formed their own essences and only required them to reach completion to reach the third step. However, due to the formation, their essences could never be completed, and they could only die as time passed. All of this was due to the lack of Joss flames, which was the most critical part of becoming a third-step cultivator. Even those that had become third-step cultivators had to go into hibernation due to the sealed realm formation. This was to prevent their essences from dissipating. Due to the sealed realm formation, there was not a sliver of Joss flames in the inner realm. Even if some was artificially created, it would be drained by the sealed realm formation. The only way someone could obtain Joss flames to allow their essence to grow was to head to the outer realm or become a spy for the outer realm, like Daoist Water. Nirvana Void, Spirit Void, Arcane Void, and Void Turbulent were the 4 great stages of the third step. Nirvana Void wasn't as bad, but it was basically impossible to reach Spirit Void. When the Lord of the Sealed Realm descended, the first problem he had to solve was the Joss Flame issue. He united the 4 celestial realms into a powerful treasure and used it to counter the absorption of the Sealed Realm formation. The Lord of the Sealed Realm had powerful spells and wisdom. With his help, everything was going in the right direction. By using the 4 celestial realms, he stopped the Sealed Realm formation from absorbing the Joss flames. However, all of this was destroyed. The outer realm wouldn't allow this to happen in the inner realm. Before the calamity, the Lord of the Sealed Realm was sneak attacked by Daoist Water. Then he was seriously injured by the Sovereign, the other masters of the outer realm, and some traitors from the ancient celestial realm. He had almost died. Bai Fan went crazy and pointed at the sky. Qing Lin's heart was broken by the Sovereign's daughter, and then he was hunted by the ancient devil and ancient demon. The cloud and lightning celestial realms suffered similar fates. Everything was completely destroyed so that the cultivators of the inner realm would forever be stuck in a cage and could never have the real world. They charged at the sealed realm formation time and time again to break this cage. The outer realm had never launched a large-scale invasion on the inner realm. They were constantly weakening the inner realm until the inner realm was so weak, they could launch a thunderous attack. They would charge through the formation and destroy the inner realm. Then they would find the Heaven's Gate and head to the inner realm's ancient celestial realm. This day was not far away, it was very, very close. The inner realm had reached its weakest state after countless years. The day the outer realm had been waiting for was arriving. It was because of this that the Lord of the Sealed Realm had to send Wang Lin into the Dao realm and help him enter the outer realm. Then Wang Lin could obtain enough Joss flames and reach the third step. The Lord of the Sealed Realm naturally saw the 5 essences in Wang Lin's body. Although he looked unfazed, he was greatly shocked, but he didn't say it. It was because of the 5 essences that he decided to make Wang Lin his inheritor. To lead the inner realm against the outer realm and even slaughter their way to the outer realm. He had chosen to integrate into the sealed realm formation with the last of his strength, so the sealed realm formation would belong to the inner realm. When the inner realm needed to rest and recuperate, it would prevent the outer realm from invading, and when the inner realm was ready to fight back, it would open. Whether he succeed or not, Wang Lin admired him. This place doesn't belong to me. I'm from the inner realm. Withdrawing his eyes from the ancient star system, Wang Lin's gaze became even more determined. He stepped forward and was about to merge with the world, but then he suddenly looked back. His eyes shined as he disappeared in the starry sky. The moment he disappeared, a thunderous rumble resounded and a giant spatial crack opened. Tuo Sen rushed out with red eyes. 3 rays of lightning were chasing after him. It was the 3 third-step cultivators from the ancient star system chasing closely after him. Tuo Sen's roar echoed among the stars. Being chased by those 3 third-step cultivators had made him ferocious. If not for the Spirit Void cultivator, he wouldn't run. Every time he thought about the Spirit Void cultivator, Tuo Sen would become furious. Although he was reckless, he was still cunning. Those 3 must have their own purpose for hunting him like this. However, just as he was about to catch up and devour Wang Lin, the three of them entangled him even more. This caused Tuo Sen's anger to reach a peak. If I don't chase those three away, I'll have no chance of devouring Wang Lin even if I catch up to him. After Tuo Sen charged out from the crack, his eyes released a monstrous, cold light. He looked at where Wang Lin disappeared and suddenly turned around. His body expanded countless fold into his ancient god body. The three of you have been chasing me for 10 years. Could it be you all waiting for this god to become tired? Then this god will give you a chance. Tuo Sen's roar was earth-shattering, and it made space itself tremble. He turned around and took a step straight toward the three people chasing him through the spatial crack. This one punch was heaven-shattering, and it carried the impact of an entire cultivation planet smashing down. Among the three third-step cultivators, one of them was at the Spirit Void stage, while the other two were at the Nirvana Void stage. They had become familiar with Tuo Sen and remained calm before the punch. They didn't scatter, but each person touched their forehead. In an instant, a powerful force came from their bodies and turned into 3 rays of demonic light that shot toward Tuo Sen's punch. A thunderous rumble echoed across the world, and as crackling sounds echoed, large spatial cracks appeared. As the shockwave spread, it seemed as if space itself was going to be split in half. The battle of third-step cultivators could collapse the star system. Tuo Sen let out a muffled groan and his eyes revealed a hint of madness. The 3 cultivators hunting him would never separate. In the 10 years they had been chasing him, they had never separated to give him a chance to kill them separately. However, in order to catch Wang Lin as soon as possible and not be entangled by those 3, he revealed a hint of madness. This god has killed several third-step cultivators in my life. You 3 have chased me for 10 years. Do you really think this god can't deal with you 3? Star, shatter. The stars between his eyebrows shined and one of them flew out. It gave off a dazzling light that had an incredibly powerful penetrating force. Even Wang Lin, who had merged with the world and was far away, felt that indescribable ancient god power. The ancient god star shined brightly, and as it shined, Tuo Sen's crazy roar echoed. Explode! He didn't hesitate to shatter a star to stop the 3 third-step cultivators from slowing him down. This showed his determination to devour Wang Lin. The ancient god star gave off endless desolation and exploded with the power to destroy the world. The explosion widened until it formed a storm that swept across the surrounding area. Rumble, 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 rumble. That thunderous rumble made it seem like the world was going to collapse, and space itself was ripped open. Huge spatial cracks appeared and covered the surrounding 5,000 kilometer, 50,000 kilometer, 500,000 kilometer area. The countless cultivation planets, countless cultivators, and countless creatures were all turned to ashes. A small portion of the ancient star system shook and felt the destructive force of this crazed explosion. The fallout turned into a shockwave that continued to spread out. The 3 third-step cultivators released their full power when faced with this powerful force. They had used their treasures and spells, but they had still been pushed back and scattered by this power. The hands of the old man at the Spirit Void stage formed seals. Although he was being pushed back and his face was pale, he wasn't too seriously injured. The power of the shattered star was dissipated layer by layer. However, the man and woman coughed out blood and retreated like crazy. Thunderous rumbles echoed before them, and as a result, the 3 of them split up. They finally separated. Tuo Sen was willing to destroy a star just to split them apart. Now that they were separated, he had nothing to fear. He stepped forward with a grin. His body was incomparably large, so a thunderous rumble echoed. He immediately arrived beside the Nirvana Void Man, and the remaining stars between his eyebrows rotated to form a vortex that shot toward the Nirvana Void Man. The expression of the old man at the Spirit Void stage changed greatly and he quickly roared, "Master Simo, retreat!" Ripples appeared in the space around him like water as he shot out straight to Master Simo, who was being surrounded by the vortex formed by the ancient god stars. Master Simo was middle-aged. His eyes were shining. The moment the stars closed in, his hand formed a seal and he began to mutter, "Prisoner of the Tao of Heaven. All sentient beings must endure immeasurable calamities. It only takes a thought to leave the deep prison. All life must walk forever forward and solve the modern age. Escape the will of heaven and obtain the path to life. Seal the will of the heavens. Engrave the dark days. Await the path of cultivation. His voice was strange, and the moment he started muttering, Tuol Sen's voice changed. His right hand formed a punch and he threw it at the incoming spirit void old man. Tuol Sen unexpectedly let this person go and flew past the old man to arrive next to the other third step cultivator. This person was a woman. She had been injured by Tuol Sen's shattered share. As she retreated, her pupils shrank when she noticed Tuol Sen's arrival. She was about to use a spell when Tuol Sen's punch landed. Popping sounds echoed and she coughed out blood. At this moment, the vortex formed by his stars surrounded her and pulled her back. She was sealed inside his second star. All of this happened in a flash. After sealing this woman, Tuol Sen tore space and disappeared inside. This god still has a few stars that haven't shattered. I will be waiting for the two of you to catch up. Although Tuol Sen had left, his gloomy voice echoed across the stars. The spirit void old man looked at Master Simo. A strange smile appeared on the corner of their mouths, but there was a hint of envy within them. Then they turned into two rays of light and quickly left. That person being chased by Tuol Sen also gave off the aura of an ancient god. He is also a royal ancient god. I fear that they are the only two ancient gods left. Tuol Sen is not a problem, but as for the other one, he is not someone we can hunt. I wonder what use they have for a royal ancient god for them that they need to spend so much effort. And even change plans halfway. This matter is top secret. I heard about some of it, but I don't know how much of it is true. It is said that the royal ancient gods had the divinity to open the ancient heaven and allow. As the two of them galloped, they both sent out divine sense messages, but before the spirit void old man could finish speaking, his expression changed and he stopped speaking. Master Simo beside also looked ahead. A woman gradually appeared before the two of them. She was wearing white and had a blurry appearance. She came silently but seemed like she could cross endless distances. This woman gave off an ethereal aura, as if she shouldn't exist in this world and was someone from the celestial domain. Thank you too. The woman's voice was ethereal, and she waved her right hand. Two rays of white light flew out and landed in their hands. This is the promised rank 6 Tao spirit. After she finished speaking, she passed through the two men and made her way into the distance. As the old man at the spirit void stage looked at the white light, his eyes shined. The two of them still didn't speak before they disappeared among the stars. It seemed like the woman in white was the only thing that remained in the world. A river of stars seemed to form under her feet as she walked toward where Tuol Sen was chasing. Wang Lin continued to head toward the Moon Clan using spatial bending based on his memory of the Moon Clan's location. His expression was gloomy. That ancient god power fluctuation gave him a few speculations. However, right now wasn't the time to think too much. After using spatial bending many times, he arrived at a star domain covered in dazzling moonlight. The moonlight came from the surrounding planets and spread across the void. It was extremely gorgeous, like a dream realm. This is the place. There was a flash of coldness in Wang Lin's eyes. The Moon Clan was here. Just at this moment, a thunderous roar came from behind him. Wang Lin didn't turn back but charged forward and spread out his divine sense. Soon, he found an area filled with ancient god aura. Bait to lure me in? Wang Lin sneered. At the same time, the rumbling sound of space being torn echoed like crazy in the moonlight-filled star field. A spatial crack was ripped open and Tuol Sen stepped out, exhausted. It was very bizarre. This violent sound didn't attract the attention of the Moon Clan at all. It was completely silent. Tuol Sen's voice was like thunder as he roared, "You can't escape." His eyes were cold and he threw a punch at Wang Lin with his right hand. "I won't be running." Wang Lin arrived at where the dense ancient god aura was coming from. At a glance, he saw a number of large ancient god statues giving off dense ancient god aura. He suddenly turned around and his eyes turned cold. Popping sounds echoed and his body grew into a 10,000-foot-tall giant. His 6 ancient god stars rotated rapidly, and a powerful surge of ancient god aura erupted from his body. He waved his right hand and a bloodlight flashed, turning into a giant sword thousands of feet long. He chopped down on Tuo Sen's punch. He stood around the ancient god statues and inhaled. The ancient god aura rushed into his body like crazy. All of this ancient god aura rushed to the wound on his chest. After adding his own ancient god power, there was a thunderous rumble. As popping sounds echoed, a vague, axe shadow was forced out from Wang Lin's chest. Without the power of the heaven-splitting axe, the wound on his chest quickly recovered until not a trace of it remained. Tuo Sen's punch after shattering a star was extremely powerful. Although he couldn't use many ancient god spells, which was due to the lack of inheritance of knowledge, just the power of his body was heaven-shattering. At this moment, the punch rushed forward and collided with the sword energy from Wang Lin's blood sword. The thunderous rumble shook the world, creating a powerful shockwave that spread to the surroundings. At the same time, the heaven-splitting axe aura that Wang Lin had forced out from his chest was thrown by Wang Lin toward the incoming Tuo Sen. The heaven-splitting axe aura erupted with heaven-shaking ancient god aura and the power to split the heavens itself. It closed in and collided with Tuo Sen's punch. Popping sounds echoed. Although Tuo Sen was strong, the blood sword had injured the ancient celestial emperor and had a mysterious origin. Ever since Wang Lin obtained it, it had been indestructible. Tuo Sen's body couldn't compare to how sharp the sword was. When his fist collided with it, blood sprayed everywhere, and at the same time, the heaven-splitting axe aura rushed into his arm. A series of rumbles echoed as it began a destructive rampage inside Tuo Sen's arm. The tired Tuo Sen revealed anger, and his body was unexpectedly stopped and he staggered back a bit. The moment his body stopped, the popping sounds inside his right arm became even louder. It was as if a destructive aura was going to charge out of his right arm. This was the first real confrontation between Wang Lin and Tuo Sen. Tuo Sen was stopped, but a portion of high punch still got through. It turned into a storm and closed in on Wang Lin's 10,000-foot body. The moment the punch arrived, Wang Lin's arm blocked before him. All of his ancient god power surged and blocked the punch. Wang Lin felt as if he was being hit by a cultivation planet, and he coughed out blood. He retreated back until he ran into an ancient god statue. Cracks began to spread out from where Wang Lin collided with the statue. Large amounts of ancient god aura came out and entered Wang Lin's body. It instantly recovered Wang Lin's physical injuries. Wang Lin grinned and his left hand patted the statue behind him. He stepped into space and his left hand and formed a fist. As he formed his fist, 7 milky white balls of light spread out from his left arm. An ancient aura filled the world. They were the 7 planet souls Wang Lin had extracted on his way here. Tuo Sen! Wang Lin roared as his left hand threw a punch. The 7 planet souls flew out with powerful force toward Tuo Sen, who paused for a moment. As they flew, 7 giant cultivation planet phantoms appeared. It was as if Wang Lin was controlling the 7 large cultivation planets to smash toward Tuo Sen. Tuo Sen's expression was gloomy. Back in the sealed realm formation, he had exploded 1 star, and in the battle just now, he had exploded another. He only had 6 stars left. According to logic, he should be only as strong as Wang Lin, but he was Tuo Sen and also ancient god Tu Sai. Tu Sai had been alive for far too long. This body was not a 6-star, but infinitely close to a 9-star ancient god. Although his stars had shattered, the power of his body was heaven-shaking. In addition, Tuo Sen was a genius to seal third-step cultivators into his stars to activate their power. Although he had exploded several, he still had 1 left from before and the woman he had just sealed, so he was still very powerful. As a result, he was not someone Wang Lin could resist. After all, Wang Lin had only obtained the inheritance of memory, while Tuo Sen had obtained the inheritance of power. Tu Sai's physical body would terrify anyone who saw it. Once you and I fuse, this god can reach the peak I had reached in the past. You can't resist this. Tuo Sen roared and then rushed forward. He waved his hand and threw a punch toward the 7 cultivation planet phantoms. Fuse with me so we can achieve the peak of my royal ancient god power. Why? Won't you obey? Tuol Sen roared as his fist collided with the 7 cultivation planets. Thunderous rumbles echoed. Every time they collided, Tuol Sen's roar became even more earth-shattering. It was as if nothing in the world could stop his advance. Those 7 cultivation planet souls trembled violently as if they were about to collapse. With a bang, one of the planet souls exploded from Tuol Sen's punch. It formed a powerful shockwave that spread out through the void. Even the moonlight that filled the star domain collapsed into countless specks and dissipated. Integrate with me so I can break open the law of inheritance and use my ancient god clan's powerful spells. This world is large, and my ancient god clan can rise to glory once more. You dare not obey. Tuol Sen seemed to have gone crazy, and 2 more cultivation planet souls were destroyed by him. You can't use the inheritance of knowledge at all. Even if you know the ancient god spells, you're powerless to use them. Only I, Tuol Sen, can use the spells of the ancient gods. The distance between Wang Lin and Tuol Sen instantly closed. Tuol Sen moved like a meteor, and the remaining 4 planet souls all collapsed. The resulting thunderous rumbles became the only sound left in his world. Even Tuol Sen's roar was suppressed by these rumbles. Even though you have 6 stars, you don't have the inheritance of power or the strength essence. What right do you have to compete with me? In this world, only I, Tuol Sen, am a real ancient god, and only I am qualified to obtain all the inheritances. Tuol Sen roared as he charged at Wang Lin. The moment he closed in, Wang Lin's hands formed a seal and his left palm pushed forward. His eyes revealed a strange light, and all his origin energy and his ancient god power went into his left palm. A giant palm print appeared, and in an instant, all the origin energy in the area began to gather. Then the palm print turned solid and charged at the incoming Tuol Sen. You are merely a devil of 2 sai, yet you dare to call yourself a god. Wang Lin roared as the palm print closed in on Tuol Sen. Tuol Sen growled and raised his hand. He mercilessly tried to rip the palm print apart. Thunderous rumbles echoed and the void trembled. The star domain of the Moon Clan felt like it was going to collapse. The palm print was unexpectedly torn in half and split into 2 parts by Tuol Sen. After using the War Spirit print, Wang Lin didn't think it would stop Tuol Sen. At the same time, he raised his left hand and placed it against Tuol Sen's right arm just like Master Lu Fu back then. He pointed at the back of his left hand with his right. It was as if endless origin energy was dragged into his left hand, and he began a frontal confrontation with Tuol Sen. A roar echoed as Wang Lin coughed out blood and a powerful impact hit his body. Popping sounds echoed inside his body as he was knocked back into another ancient god statue. Large amounts of ancient god power entered his body. Tuol Sen's giant body paused once more from Wang Lin's attack, but he continued to move forward. He opened his mouth and inhaled. A large portion of the ancient god aura here was absorbed by him. Weak, weak, weak. Wang Lin, this god has given you nearly 2,000 years to grow, yet you're still so weak. With a bang, Tuol Sen landed on the ground with all the ancient god statues. The moment he landed, the earth trembled violently. His right hand rose into the air, covering the sky, and reached toward Wang Lin. He didn't want to kill Wang Lin but capture him alive. The moment his hand closed in, Wang Lin absorbed the ancient god aura like crazy. The blurry 7th star vortex rotated rapidly as if it was going to solidify. The ancient god aura was divided into 2 parts. Wang Lin couldn't compare to Tuol Sen, but he still took almost 40% of it. As Tuol Sen's hand reached out, Wang Lin let out a roar and the ancient god power in his body surged. As his ancient god power surged, the blood sword flew out, giving out a monstrous red light. Ancient god spell, god punch. Wang Lin's roar was heaven-shaking. He wouldn't easily use ancient god spells, because they required large amounts of ancient god energy. He was an ancient god who had only lived for less than 2,000 years, he couldn't compare to 2 sai. However, after borrowing the dense ancient god aura, Wang Lin didn't hesitate to use an ancient god spell that a 6-star ancient god could use. God punch. Both his hands formed fists, with the blood sword in the center. Wang Lin's body turned into a vortex and shot at Tuo Sen's right fist. An ancient god shadow appeared as he collided with Tuo Sen's right hand. A thunderous rumble shook the world. God Punch released all ancient god power in an instant to form a punch that could destroy the heavens. Tuo Sen's right punch trembled and he was forced into the air. Wang Lin's body sprayed out blood. He was covered in blood as he was knocked into the ground. Be destroyed by this god. Tuo Sen's right hand was numb and his mind was shaken. He didn't expect Wang Lin to grow so much in such a short period of time. He no longer used his hand, but the 6 stars between his eyebrows flew out to surround Wang Lin. He was going to devour Wang Lin like how he devoured third-step cultivators. At this moment of crisis, Wang Lin's eyes revealed a strange light. He was waiting for this moment. Tuo Sen, do you think Tu Sai really died? What? After Wang Lin spoke, even the expression of someone as strong as Tuo Sen changed greatly. A great change suddenly took place. This video will end here.